Hey guys, my name is Fortune here from Team Misplayed here, bringing you a quick little discussion update slash hi, how's it going, new year and all that stuff, and we haven't uploaded a lot. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and yeah. So, why did I decide to bring up a video today? Well, if you could look at the background, sorry that everything's blocking the background, but you can see it's probably one of my favorite sports animes of all time called Ice Shield 21, and it's actually not in reference to the new deck that I'm about to deck profile, which is a Turbo UA deck. Now, before we get started, I'd like to actually give a shout out to Alinthio, who happened to make most of the deck. I just kind of tweaked it to my personal interest. It's basically a UA turbo deck where it just spams out UA monsters and just wrecks your opponent pretty fast. So without further ado, allow me to get started with the deck profile. So here we go. The first one is UA Playmaker, aka the running back, of course. For those of you who know football terms, if not, that's cool. You can go from there anyways. His effect is kind of okay. It's a level 8. He has 2600 attack, which is not the best for a level 8, but whatever. And when a UA monster declares an attack, you can this card can lose 800 to give it 800. So I mean, it makes itself useful in that way. 2 blockbacker, aka linebacker of the team, and his effect is he just becomes a big freaking wall. I mean, 2700 defense. For those of you who don't understand what the UA monsters are, there's one UA monster that attacks and one UA monster that defends. You flip them out basically during each one. So one goes in and attacks, and the other, and then you return it to the hand because each UA monster can return to the hand, and then special summon the defender in defense mode so that they can take hits and they can negate certain things, or they can do certain things to protect themselves. This one specifically lets you change the battle position of a special summon monster on your opponent's side of the field and negate its effects, so it's pretty okay. The reason I run it at 2 is because, you know, it's 2700 defense. Who wouldn't want that? Next, we have UA Goalkeeper, aka the goalie of soccer or football in other countries. Uh, this card, uh, when it's during the opponent's turn when a UA monster is targeted for something, or you could target one UA monster and it's unaffected or cannot be destroyed by card effects or battle, and it's a quick effect, so it's like Exile Knight. Plus, its 2800 defense is pretty massive. I'm gonna skip over the 3 of and go to the 2 perfect ace, or if in Germany, perfect ass. Or it's not really perfect ass. It's like something like, I don't know how to pronounce the perfect in German, but I know it's ass as an ace. Its effect is you can discard a card to negate a card effect. So I mean, that's pretty cool. It's 2500 defense, pretty awesome. And then finally, to round off the big UA monsters, we have Mighty Slugger, aka the one that puts in the most work in this deck. It's 2300, and there's another card you combo it with, along with the field spell. This card gets super beefy, can just wreck games, and its effect is when it attacks, you cannot respond to it until the end of damage step. That's pretty major. It's like going in for the kill shot in a game if your opponent has no answers. So yeah. And then to round off the final UA monster, and I know this is kind of going in opposite order of things, but you get the idea. We have 3 UA midfielder because it's the only level 4 UA monster, and if you normal summon it, you can search any, or it becomes a UA searcher if you use the field spell, and then its effect is you can target a UA monster, send it back to your hand, and special summon another one, and it basically does its own loop thing. It can, and like I said, each UA monster has their own special summon condition where you can special summon by returning a UA. The preference is to go from an attacker like Mighty Slugger or Playmaker into blockback, goalkeeper, or perfect ace. So I mean, it's pretty combo-y, and you need to know how to, do stuff. Next we have triple Goblinberg, because sometimes, you need the way to get midfielder on the field, and it's a pretty good way of doing it. It also makes rank 4 plays alive. And then finally, two Summoner Monk, because this whole entire deck is made of a bunch of spell cards. And, getting midfielder is essential to you winning the game at the end of the day. Alright, so enough about the monsters. There's only a few monsters in this deck, because basically your whole combo involves getting your bigger UA monsters out, like I said. And, yeah. So, next, we're going to go into the spells. Triple Reinforcement of the Army. The reason why I run triple is because, Goblinberg and midfielder. I'd rather have triple Rhoda and have multiple targets for Rhoda than have 3 midfielder, 2 monk, and 3 Rhoda. It just doesn't seem right to me to do that. 2 Hidden Armory, because you're not necessarily going to need it often, because, the UA equipped spell kind of does its own thing of returning, but it's perfect for if you're milling with a certain card, which you can see the card right there. You can use Hidden Armory to bring it back to your hand, as well as bring Snatch Steal to your hand from your deck or graveyard. I mean, this card is pretty good. The only condition is that you lose a normal summon and set for the rest of the turn. 1 Soul Charge probably needed, especially with this build. Triple Reasoning, like I said, shout out to Alinthio, who gave me the idea of Reasoning. Reasoning allows you to catch your opponent off guard, first off, and second off, it allows you to fill your graveyard with a bunch of monsters or cards you need, and then eventually you can special summon any UA monster you can, depending on what level's called. So I mean, it's pretty awesome that way. Triple Upstart Goblin, because you want to see combo pieces pretty fast, and this deck doesn't care to give opponents life points at the end of the day, because Mighty Slugger could knock those out pretty easily. 2 Terraforming. This one I cannot accept having 3 of, because the Stadium, I like the Stadium, but having 3 Terraforming is not good, because you can run bad hands, especially with a deck that only runs 17 monsters and 23 spells. The difference between Terraforming and Rhoda is that Rhoda gets you a monster, Terraforming gets you another spell card, which is eh. Before I go into the UA stuff, I'll talk about Snatch Steal, because, Snatch Steal, awesome. I'll have another video up later, sometime this week, to discuss my thoughts on, the game itself going right now. And finally, let's talk about the UA cards in order of their release, starting with the Stadium. The Stadium's the field spell. If you normal summon a UA monster, you get a UA monster from your deck. If you special summon a UA monster during the turn, or once per turn, you can increase the attack points of all monsters on your side of the field by 500. Like I said, this in conjunction with Mighty Slugger makes it 27 or 2800 automatically. That's just insane, especially with the effect of not being able to respond to its attack. Second, we have UA Powered Jersey, which you can equip to any UA monster. It gains 1000 attack and defense, and if it battles a monster, any battle damage inflicted is doubled. Already good. Then, if it destroys a monster, it can attack a second time. This is an OTK if you can get it done right. Powered Jersey is super strong, and it's unbelievable. Plus, if you bounce back, or actually the monster equipped to UA Powered Jersey is banished at the end of your, or during your next standby phase. So, I mean, like, during your main phase, you'll do a power jersey coming up, and then next standby phase, it's gone, right? Wrong. Because when you return a UA monster while it's equipped with power jersey automatically comes back to your hand. That is insane. Power jersey is pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of combo. This card just insane. And Hidden Armory just helps you get it back at the end of the day. I mean, that's pretty good, right? It it's its own Hidden Armory slash what other cards are there? Double attack slash uh no piercing. It doesn't do piercing, but it does double the damage and stuff like that. This card is just insane for this deck. And then finally, 2 UA turnover tactics. I was actually debating on going either 1 or 2 on this one because UA turnover tactics is not the best of cards because it gives your opponent advantage when you don't need to give them advantage. I mean, why would you want to do that? But its effect is if you control 2 UA monsters, shuffle as many monsters on the field as possible in the deck. Special summon any number of UA monsters up to the number of different names you sent back. Or up to them. No, it's different names special summoned up to the number of monsters sent back, but they cannot attack. Then your opponent special summons monsters from their deck equal to the number of cards shuffled on into their main deck. So I mean, again, it's a double-edged sword because when your opponent has monsters that go in the main deck, it's bad. But when they use like special summon cards and all that, I mean, it helps you. It's one of those cards where it can be a yes or no. So that's the main deck. The extra deck's honestly irrelevant to the deck. I just have 2 Gaia, like Tyrus, Volcasaurus, Durandal, Fortress, and then I have a bunch of rank 4 monsters that you can make in this deck. And like I said, you're not going to go into your extra deck. Let's give a better example. The best way to say is that every 10 games, you'll probably go into your extra deck maybe 2 or 3 times. That's like 30% of the time you would use your extra deck, and there's a lot of decks that revolve around having your extra deck, especially Shadows. I mean, this deck can actually get in on Shadows if possible. You can get on Cleaforts because Cleaforts, I mean, it doesn't target too much, and then it can get in on some of these decks. The only issue is that there's not enough like good support. Like my biggest concern is that there's no other level 4 UA monster to conjunction with midfielder. There's not a good way of searching their spell cards. Uh, and then I mean, there's not a lot of useful UAs. Hence why I only play 1 playmaker and 1 goalkeeper. They're not the best of cards, but they are UA monsters, and I need UA monsters. So anyways, guys, that's the end of this UA deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to end off on our Mighty Slugger, aka the Baseball Fiend, and go from there. Till next time, this has been Fortune Heroes from Team Misplayed, signing out. Thank you for watching.